The idea of complementary colours is as old, if not older, than photography itself. It's the idea that the presence of one colour in an image can spark off another colour in an image. Finding them and putting them together is a real trick though. So for this frame, what we've got, it's sort of, without doing anything, it's a really nice looking frame, but what drew me to it is this blue sky over the top. The way the water in the foreground is reflecting the blue sky, and then just in the middle distance I've got this barn with this nice bright orange, maybe umber possibly, roof. And one thing that I know as a landscape photographer is that a complementary colour of blue is red, oranges, browns, that kind of thing. So if you can find a frame that has both of those colours in it, you'll be able to make something that looks really cool. So without doing anything at all, this composition already looks really tidy to me, and I love it when that happens because it means you don't have to work too hard to elevate a good picture into being a great one. But if the whole point of this frame is these complementary colours, the way these orange roofs complement this blue sky above and the blue water below, I'm going to try and use a quick, crafty, cheap and easy filter to try and really bring that out and add a bit of punch, bit of saturation to the picture without having to do it afterwards. So it's going to be as simple, almost first time there. We're going to see if we can find something that has a lot of punch. I like this one, but it's added quite a lot of orange into everything. So all of the green grass and the roofs all kind of blending into each other. So I might just see if we can try a couple more. That one has not nearly enough contrast overall. Let's try Lilt. What would that be like? I think that looks really nice. There's a bit more green going on, like some of the blues have sort of shifted a little, but I think it's really brought out some of the buildings, some of the architecture in here. And so the only thing left to do is pick a composition that I like. Again, this composition naturally wants to be split into three bits. We've got a big chunk of sky, this strip of land here, and then this water. And so it's really a question of, do we try and make it equal sky, equal land, equal water, or am I going to try and just kind of create this little strip of water down in the bottom and let the sky do most of the work compositionally? Luckily, because we're shooting digital, it's free, so I'm going to shoot a bit of everything and see which one I like best. So this frame is what the camera sees with no interventions at all, no filters, no nothing. And it is a lovely frame, just all by itself. I mean, this is one of my all-time favourite landscape spots, so it's no surprise that you can knock out a decent landscape here without really thinking too much about it. It doesn't make the most of these barns here in that middle distance that I really wanted to bring out, so I think the addition of a filter was necessary here. This is the first filter that I tried, and it did look pretty decent as a thumbnail, but now that I'm looking at it full screen, I can see that actually it seems to have pulled quite a lot of the saturation out of this frame instead of adding it, so the opposite of what I wanted. It has put a fair bit of green into that middle kind of area of the frame, but it has reduced the saturation both in these critical barn roofs and in the sky above, so I think probably right idea, wrong execution. This frame has a really nice split of colour. I really like how much it pops off the screen. There's loads of saturation here. You can see all of this green here, this nice water down at the bottom of the frame has loads of oomph, loads of pop, loads of colour. And also we've brought out these barn roofs, but also shifted quite a lot of the riverbank and the tree line here towards that kind of red side of the colour spectrum, which means it really bounces off the screen in comparison to the sky and the water below. So really like this one.